Now, voters young and old wrapped up against the early morning chills yesterday to stand in long lines across the country, evoking memories of those huge queues that snaked through the streets and fields for the historic all-race elections in 1994. Now, South Africa's fifth democratic election was, by most considerations, a success yesterday, with most of the 22,000 stations declaring that things went on smoothly. But the question on everyone's mind, of course, is who so far has taken the biggest piece of the electoral pie? And with us on the line is Courtney Sampson, Western Cape Provincial Electoral Officer. Courtney, thank you very much for taking our call this morning. Now, I guess it's fair to say that this year's elections have been given the thumbs up by international observers, but is the IEC so far happy with the way that the elections were conducted?
Look, I think I'm just looking at it from a Western Cape perspective. We are ahead of schedule in terms of other elections, in terms of tying this thing up. But, there's a lot of tying up that takes place after the last votes are counted. And, so I think that's where we're keeping our eye on them at the moment. At the end of the day, whatever everybody else says, the commission of the IEC has got 7 days in which it must announce the election results. And they usually try to wrap it all up on a Saturday, this coming Saturday, and they are really the ones who must declare the election free and fair.
Yeah. And I think a very good thing to note this year is that we had the highest number of voters registered in South Africa, or in the history of the South African national and provincial elections. 25 million was the figure that they were talking about. And do we know exactly how many of them turned out to vote?
At this stage, difficult to say. I don't know. There's still, as I say, the focus is still very much in terms of just wrapping up the whole process for us.
And I know that also because of social media and the reports that were coming in, some areas did encounter some problems, like in Philippi, where they ran out of ballot papers. Did those people get a chance to vote at the end of the day? And were there other areas of concern in the province?
No, yeah, look, I think that everybody who was there by 9 o'clock got an opportunity to vote. The issue of the ballot papers is simply, I think that there's been too much widespread use of the exception that we make, that people can vote in voting districts where they are not registered, which means that we then end up having to take ballot papers to where the voters are. And that's not a good place to be, So it inevitably is going to lead to some queue forming somewhere. But yes, we were able to manage all that process. And people who were in the queue at 9 o'clock were all allowed to vote.
Yeah, that's very good news. So in terms of results so far, preliminarily, what can you tell us?
Look, in terms of the results, I can't tell you much, except to say that we are just now busy doing the results capturing, and, the auditors are here with us, and there's verification that's taking place and so forth, So we are where we feel we ought to be at this stage in terms of getting the results sewn up.
Yeah. Well, Courtney, thank you very much for taking our call. I know it's very, very early morning, and you probably worked very late into the night, so we really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That is Courtney Sampson there, Western Cape Provincial Electoral Officer, giving us a bit of an update on the elections that took place yesterday all across the country. And with that in mind, we'd like to say thank you as the Expresso family to all South Africans who actively took part in this election and, making your voice heard. And also thank you for all the thumb pics that you sent. We love them. Check it out.
Yesterday saw Mzansi's fifth democratic election. Congratulations and thumbs up to all South Africans who flocked to the polls to make their mark. Expresso was reminded of the words of Oliver Tambo, and those who vote are indeed helping to remake our part of the world into a corner of the globe of which all humanity can be proud.
It's the hashtag #ThumbsUpSA.
Thumbs up to South Africa. Thumbs up to you, the voter.